touch, what do you feel? Look at these objects. How do you think they will feel if you touch them? Now run your fingers over the pictures. How do they really feel? The pebbles look round and smooth. The rock looks hard and sharp along the edges. The egg carton looks bumpy, but they all feel like a piece of paper. People love touching things. It helps them learn about what's around them. But sometimes touching isn't allowed. Some animals like to be touched. Cats like to be stroked. And dogs sometimes lie on their backs and let you tickle their tummies. But always ask someone before you stroke or pet a strange animal. When two ponies meet, they sometimes rub noses. Some insects have feelers called antennae, so they can feel if there's anything in the way. Lobsters also have antennae to feel their way along the bottom of the sea. An elephant may touch things with its trunk. He wants to know if this bridge is safe to cross. Some things feel good to touch. A lamb feels warm and soft. But some things feel bad. When you walk on the beach, the hot sand can hurt your feet, or broken seashells can give you a cut. It's best to wear shoes on the beach to protect your feet. When we touch something, we feel it against our skin. Inside our skin, there are lots of little feelers, called nerve endings. Some feel heat, some feel cold, some feel pain. Some feel when something is pressing against them. Nerves are like wires. They carry messages from the nerve endings to the brain. Something cold and wet is running down my arm. Feels like ice cream melting. Something hard and heavy is on my left foot, and it hurts. I think it's, excuse me, do you mind not stepping on my toe? Stepping on her toe. Some parts of the body feel things better than other parts because there are more nerve endings in the skin. Try touching your face with the tip of a soft brush. Now touch your arm. Which part do you think has more nerve endings? There are no nerve endings in your hair or your nails. Try touching these with a brush. What do you feel? There are lots of nerve endings in your fingertips, and by moving your fingers, you can feel the shape of something in your hand. Is it round or square, long or short? By holding something, you may be able to guess its weight. I'll have some apples for an apple pie. You can feel a piece of fruit or a vegetable to find out if it's ripe and ready to eat. This melon feels too hard. It's not ripe yet. This melon feels too soft. It may be bad. This melon feels just right. Not too hard and not too soft. Every time you touch something, you leave a mark. The mark left by your fingertip is called a fingerprint. If you've been doing something messy, you could see your fingerprints. If your hands are clean, you can't see your fingerprints, but they're still there. Detectives use special powder which sticks to fingerprints and shows where they are. Let's see, who's been touching things in here? A detective would match up the fingerprints. He will soon know who picked up the cup. Blind people have more need to touch things than people who can see. Books for blind people are made with bumps instead of letters, so that blind people can feel the words. This way of printing with bumps is called Braille. Braille was invented by a man named Louis Braille. He was blind, so he knew how useful his invention would be. What does it feel like to read Braille? Get some paper and press it against something hard and bumpy. Can you feel the bumps on the paper? That's what Braille feels like. In Braille, there's a different pattern of bumps, or raised dots, for each letter of the alphabet. When blind people read Braille, they use both hands. The left hand finds the beginning of the line, while the right hand reads the words. Can you see what words this person is reading? You can put different things in a bag and ask a friend to guess what they are by touching them. A pencil, a button, an apple, a sponge. They all feel different. But be careful, some things hurt. People don't like pain, but it can be useful because it tells us when something is wrong. Ouch, foot hurts, stop running. So that's what it was, a sharp stone. If a pain is very sharp, our body may react before the message reaches our brain. This is called a reflex action. Reflex. 1. Hand touches something hot. Nerve endings feel pain. 2. Message goes quickly to arm muscles. Hand jumps back. 3. Message reaches brain. Yowee, that's hot. Some things are too hot to touch. You'd better wear gloves. He's wearing oven gloves. He's baking a pie. Come on in, it's time for dinner. Some things are too sharp to touch. She's wearing gardening gloves. She's planting a prickly rose. Some touches, like hugging, make us feel warm and safe. Some touches tell us when things are too hot or too cold. But touching things is an important way of learning about our world.